Shalom everyone, this is Saya Yahoo back again with a live video. I've actually gone live today and this is my first time trying out the live. I'm trying to see how it's about to go. I don't know how it's going to go. We're about to find out today. I'm going to be doing a live Bible study, and the topic of today's Bible study is corporal punishment. This is a new Bible study that I did. On my previous channel, when I used to upload Bible studies all the time, I had pretty much did every Bible study that I ever made. But this one is a currently new one, and because I know I haven't done this one, and because corporal punishment is now seems to be a thing in the past, nobody wants to whip their children anymore for being bad, even though the Bible says we're supposed to whip our children. He who spares the rod hates his child. We have people today getting killed and murdered for things they're not supposed to be getting killed and murdered for, supposed to be getting their behind whipped for. I mean, God has laws about killing people for disobeying his commandments that were lawful murders, but then there's people who they're not even getting killed for that. They get killed for like, oh, you looked at me funny, or you called me a bee, or you tried to steal something, or you wasn't driving right, or you took my parking spot, or just people getting killed for dumb stuff that you can get beat for according to the Bible, but they get killed for today. So let's go ahead into this Bible study. The name of this Bible study is Corporal Punishment, and I'm going live. And for some reason, live videos are screened like this, but I turned the phone sideways so it can be a widescreen live video that I'm probably going to edit and post so it looks better than how it normally would look live. I might edit the video. I might put the scriptures on the video and everything, which won't take me long because this is a Bible study that I made that I have the scriptures for that I'm about to read through. So without further ado, let's get into this Bible study. Corporal punishment, which means disciplining someone with lashes, with the belt, with the hand, not with the fist, but with a rod, with a belt. You can hit them with the hand, but it better be an open hand. And if it's a rod, it better be like a little stick, or a paddle. Can't be with no pipe. Can't be with no gun, no pistol whip. Can't be with no boot or no shoe. It's got to be with something practical, something that's legal to spank someone with. We can't be going crazy. We can't be separating the wire from the iron and whipping people with, let's not get crazy with this. This ain't about abuse. This is about discipline. So let's get into it. Deuteronomy, we're going to the law. Deuteronomy chapter 25 verses 1 through 3. Deuteronomy 25 verses 1 through 3. And the reason says, if there is a dispute between men and they come to court, that the judge may judge them, and they justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. Then it shall be, if the wicked man deserves to be beaten, that the judge will cause him to lie down and be beaten in his presence according to his guilt, with a certain number of blows. 40 blows may be given him and no more, lest he should exceed that and beat him with many more blows above these, and your brother be humiliated in your sight. So if someone was going to be beaten by order of the judge, the judge is the one who went over the case. The judge is the one who determined who was guilty, who was innocent, found out the person was guilty, found out the person needed to be beaten as a punishment. He was beaten in the judge's sight. That means the judge didn't beat him himself. The judge got someone to beat him for him. In this case, the judge could be the father, and the disciplinarian could be the mother or the older brother or the older sibling to the younger sibling, or it could be the father himself, judged according to himself and decided to whoop him, or it could be a situation where we found someone stealing out of our house and we caught them, and we determined that you guilty, you found you caught, and now it's time for you to be beat. But we can't beat you no more than 40 times. You can't get beat with no more than 40 lashes, lest the person be humiliated in our sight, meaning we exceeded above that, meaning we couldn't control our anger. We didn't have self-discipline. We not handling this in a way that's right, a righteous way, because now we exceeding the number of lashes a person can get according to the Most High by going overboard. And as the judge, I'm supposed to maintain order. I'm supposed to do things accordingly, so I can't let you beat him more than 40 times. That was in verse 3 of Deuteronomy chapter 25. And let me read it again. It says, 40 blows he may give him, and no more, lest he should exceed this and beat him with many more blows above these, and your brother be humiliated in your sight. Meaning, I might have to chastise this person for going over 40. Bro, I said 40 and no more. You went over that. You went over that. You didn't listen. Now you gotta be humiliated, because now I gotta beat you because you exceeded the amount of blows that he was supposed to get. And that's the only way I can interpret that makes illogical sense for modern day's time. You going over the amount. You went over that. 40 is more than enough. I don't even think nobody need 40 today. I mean, when I used to discipline my nieces and nephews, we start with 5. I told you how to do something, you did anyway. Give me your hand, get the stick, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Then they do it again, and I tell them, next time I have to whoop you for something, it's gonna be more than 5. Next time it's gonna be 10. Right? And then they do something, and I say, how many we on? We on 10? Yeah, we on 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? And the next time I have to whoop you, it's gonna be 15. So they like, whoa, 5 hurt. 10, now it's hurting more. 10, now they like 15. Oh my God, Then we go up the ladder, so every time they know the next time they gonna get whooped, it's gonna be way more than that. We going up the ladder. We started at 5, now we're at 10, now we're at 15. Next time it's gonna be 20. So you better make sure that you know what I'm saying? And if you move your hand, you eject your hand, I lose my count. Like, oh, you moved your hand, I lost my count. You gotta start all over again. Don't move your hand. But that's how I used to discipline my nieces and nephews. Don't move your hand. Don't make me lose my count. Don't ball your knuckles up. You go make me hit your knuckle. But let's continue. Next, we're going to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 29. And it reads, judgments are prepared for scoffers, and beatings for the backs of fools. Oh yeah, judgments are prepared for scoffers. A scoffer is someone who scorns and laughs and don't take you serious. They scoff, they make jokes, they rib, they cap, they think you don't take nothing serious. They think everything's a game. And that's where you have to whoop their behinds to show them this is not a game, this is serious. You don't do this. And if you do this, whoosh, 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 whooping time. If you're a grown adult, in Middle Eastern countries where we are from, we Africans, right? We were brought over here from Africa. We from what they call the Middle East. We're from the Southeast part of the overseas area, which is Africa, Israel, Arabia, India. We from those areas, right? Where the people are black. There are black people in India. There are black people in Arabia. There are black people in Afghanistan. There are black people in Israel. Like all in Africa, all those places are black. Madagascar, in that island that's right next to Africa, black. All those black people. We from over there. They brought us over here, but we from over there. And over there, they practice corporal punishment. Over there, they take the man, they strap him down to something that look like a cross on the ground, and they pull his pants down. You know, his hands are tied, his legs are tied, and they get the big paddle, and they whack, whack, whack. And I think they whoop him 40 times because, you know, the Muslims, they use the Bible, scriptures of Moses to implement the law of God. You know, the Quran is supposed to be the interpretation of God's word in Arabic by Muhammad. That's what it's supposed to be. It evolved into something else, a whole completely different religion that beeps on Judaism and Christianity, but it's originally from the Bible. That's why they got our characters in. That's why they got Moshe in there. That's why they got Yaakov in there, and, you know, different biblical names that they didn't try to twist to keep the Muslims out of the Bible and out of the Torah and out of, you know, our stuff and into their own stuff, you know. But I digress. Next, we're going to Proverbs chapter 23, verse 3. It says, a whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a ride for the fool's back. A ride, talking about that ride again. Ride is the modern day paddle. Or ride is one of those little skinny long sticks that the teacher used to hit on the chalkboard. And then they use that to whip the children. The ride for the fool's back. You want to be a fool? You want to act like you dumb? You want to play stupid? You want to do something that you know you weren't supposed to do? Whooping time! Now let's go into the New Testament. Because people getting beatings and whoopings were common, right? You know, before Yeshua, the Messiah, who y'all call Jesus, you know, before he was killed, he was beaten, right? They beat him to punish him. To get him to denounce that he was the Son of God. And he would do that because he, you know, he was the Son of God. So they ended up killing him, you know, they hung him. But let's go into this terminology called corporal punishment in the New Testament, which was a common thing that they did. We commonly whoop people's behind. That was common. Luke chapter 12, verses 47 through 48. And it reads, it says, and that servant who knew his master's will and did not properly, verse 47, and that servant who knew his father's will and did not prepare himself or do according to his will shall be beaten with many stripes. But he who did not know yet committed things deserving of stripes shall be beaten with few. For everyone to whom much is given, from him much will be required. And to whom much has been committed, of whom they will ask the more. So it's saying the person who knew the master's will, knew right from wrong, you knew better. That person should be beaten with many stripes. You should get your behind whipped. You getting the 40 because you knew better. But the person who did not know, but did stuff anyway, well, you didn't know. You didn't know the commandments. You didn't know the master's will. You shall be beat with fewer than the person who knew. You still will get beat. And you will get beat not as much as the person who did know, but you will get beat just so that you know, you did this was wrong. Don't do this no more. Don't ever do that again. Now you know. The person who knew, you know better. You don't have to do it any way you think. Niggas not playing, don't play, don't. You know, that person will get beat a lot because they knew better and they did it anyway. So that person go get that whooping real good. The person who didn't know just go get beat and learn not to do it again. Or they might get that talk. You did this, you weren't supposed to do this. This is why you're not supposed to do this. But because you did this, I have to beat you just so that you never do it again. No, but I didn't do it. I didn't know. So I shouldn't get beat because I didn't know. Now that I know, I won't do it again. That's true, but the rule is if you do this, you gotta get beat. And if I don't beat you, it's not fair to those who about to get beat for doing it. It's not fair for those who get beat for doing it. You did it, you didn't know. I understand it. I get it. But around here, if you do this, you gotta get beat. And you didn't know, I get it. But you did it. They know you did it. I know you did it. This is my rule. You gotta get your negotiate out of this. You gotta get whooping. Now go on and get. Trying to negotiate out of this whooping. Be a man, or be a woman, or be a female, and you take this equal whooping that you will get, because everybody gets this whooping. There's no favoritism in the judgment of God. There is no favoritism when it comes to who's getting the whooping and who's not getting the whooping. For this. That's how you gotta be. That's how you gotta be. That's how God is. Just because you didn't know something, you still gonna get it. But like you said, to those who knew better, more is required of them because you knew better. They will get more. The person who didn't know, they will get less. And that's in Luke chapter 12, verses 47 through 48. I'm going to reread it because, I did all that elaborating and, I did the invisible whoop. I pulled the person over the knee and I whipped them and, I did all that. Y'all probably laughing and stuff, So let me reread it. Let's get out the comment. Let's get serious again. Luke chapter 12, verses 47 to 48, and it reads, "And that servant who knew his master's will and did not properly prepare himself or do according to his will shall be beaten with many stripes." Verse 48, "But he who did not know, yet committed things deserving of stripes, shall be beaten with few. For everyone to whom much is given, from him much will be required, and to whom much has been committed of him, they will ask the more." So the person who knew better, did it anyway, bro. You gotta get more from you. You know better. You know how you get chastised. You knew better and you did it anyway. Now it's over for you. And as a parent, as an adult, we don't just beat people and that's the end of it, because eventually a person go get used to getting beat and they're gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna get beat and I'm just gonna get this many hits and after that it's over, so I'll go ahead and take it. Nah, because today now we gotta take things away from you. It's like if it's a kid, we gotta take your phone, we gotta take you off of the Facebook, to delete your account. Now we gotta pull you out of this to track meet. And out of this, you can't go to Disney World no more. You can't go see the movie no more. Your friends can't come over no more. You're not going on this trip no more. Like we got to do more things to discipline our children so that they know that this is the consequence for you not following the order and the rule in this house. And when it comes to adults, you did this, you're going to jail. Now you can't socialize and be free to be a slave and go out and work as a slave and to get money to pay for stuff that we provide for you, and keep you in this rotation of always having to work to pay and provide for yourself through us, because we don't want you going to work, and we don't want you buying a house and being your own house that you brought, because you always got to pay us. You always got to pay us for your house. You got to pay taxes. And we don't want you planting fruits and vegetables in your backyard. We want you to always have to go to work to buy food from us, because they don't want us to be self-sufficient and to take care of ourselves and plant our own gardens where we can have our own fruits and vegetables in the backyard and peanuts and nuts and seeds and stuff. They don't want us doing that. They want us constantly working so we can constantly put money in their pockets and not be smart enough to put money in our own yard and make our own, I digress. I'm going way over. Let's continue this Bible study. I got so much knowledge in me, I just don't want to go overboard. Next we're going to Hebrews chapter 12, verses 6 through 11. Y'all didn't think I was going to be hitting New Testament verses about whoopings, but there's in there, Metaphors about beating is all throughout the Bible, because we beat people back in the days. When you kept the laws of God and you broke the commandments of God, if the commandment said you had to be killed for doing it, we beat your behind for doing it, to teach you a lesson. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 6 through 11, and it reads, it says, "For whom the Most High loves, he chastises, and scorns every son whom he reveals. who he receives, I'm sorry. If you endure chastising, God deals with you as with sons. For what son is there whom the father does not chastise? Chastise means, whoop. Chasten. Chasten is the word. I'm saying chastise because it took me a while to catch on to what the definition of the word chasten was, because I'm the type of person, if I come across the word and I don't know the meaning of the word, I can't remember the meaning of the word. I remember that it meant chastising. I know that it meant whipping. But I couldn't pronounce the word because it slipped my mind, the definition of it. But I knew what it was. Once I fully got it in my head, and I was able to read it. Verse 8, but if you are without chastising, of which all have become partakers, then you are illegitimate and not sons. Furthermore, we have had human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed for a few days chastise us as seemed best to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastising seems to be joyful for the present time, but painful. Nevertheless, afterwards it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. And that was in Hebrews chapter 12, verses 6 through 11. You could tell I haven't read through that verse in a long time because I was stumbling over certain words that I wasn't familiar with seeing, because we don't use chastising and chasing in our normal vocabulary when we're referring to disciplining. So that's why I stumbled a little bit and had to come back and explain my mental break and not understand what that word was, but had an idea what it meant because it's a part of Bible study. Duh! It's in the Bible study, so I knew it had something to do with getting your behind it. But yeah. Next we're going to John. This part of the Bible study says example. So now we have an example in the book of John, John chapter 2, verses 13 through 16. So I'm about to give you an example of somebody getting their behind whipped. And it's from the New Testament. And it's done by the Son of God himself. It's done by Yeshua himself. He's the one that's about to whoop some beep. So let's check it out. Now, John chapter 2, verses 13 through 16. And it says, now the Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Yeshua went up to Jerusalem. And he found in the temple those who sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the money changers doing business. Verse 15. When he had made a whip of cords, he drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overturned the tables. And he said to those who sold doves, take these things away. Do not make my Father's house a house of merchandise. Everybody know this story about when Yeshua went in the temple and it was during the Passover, and he looked and he saw these people selling this stuff in the temple, and he made that whip of cords. These cords. And he started beating people. Catch up! Turning those tables over, throwing stuff around. Get out of here! Get those doves and get out of here. Do not make my Father's house a house of merchandise. Selling in here during the Passover. The Passover is a Sabbath day. Get out. He did, he went off. He went in, he beat these people. And that's an example. Now, according to the law, this was during the Passover. The Passover, the first day of the Passover, which is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, is a Sabbath. The last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread is a Sabbath. But the Passover is 7 days. So after the first day of Unleavened Bread, it's a regular day. It's not a Sabbath. So this probably, he probably went in there during the Passover. Wasn't on the actual Feast of Unleavened Bread, but was doing the Passover when they was doing this, and he beat them. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't on the actual day, because if it was on the actual day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, they would have to be killed. But it was the fact that they was in the temple, and they selling in the temple. They selling in the temple of the house of worship. You don't sell it here. You sell out there. You don't make the house of God a place where you selling stuff. No, you do that outside the temple. We don't do that inside the temple. We don't do that inside church. And you know, the day you go to church, they got little stores in the churches where you can buy books and stuff like that in the church. And sometimes you can buy the sermon that was recorded that same day in the church on the day you go to church. You know, a lot of people go to church on Sunday, but when you go to church on Sunday, it's not Sabbath day, so it's not a sin to buy on a Sabbath on Sunday, because Sunday is not the Sabbath day. But there are some churches that are open on the Sabbath day that actually sell tapes of the sermon on the Sabbath, actually sell books and stuff on the Sabbath. Even on some Messianic congregations, they have where they sell the little thing that go around your neck with the little Jewish writings and stuff on it, the menorah, whatever they call the little thing. They sell that stuff in this little store that they have on the Sabbath day. They be selling stuff on the Sabbath day in some of these congregations. Yeah. Be having tickets to buy for the next feast day coming up on the Sabbath in the congregation. Yeah. So this rebuke is to y'all. Y'all who's selling on the Sabbath day, the actual Sabbath day, trying to sell feast tickets, you're trying to sell banquet tickets, trying to sell garments, trying to sell tapes, copies of tapes and posters and whatever y'all trying to sell, CDs of music, gospel music. Y'all selling this stuff on the Sabbath day in the sanctuary, in the house of worship, in the camp. Yeah, it's a sin. We ain't supposed to buy or sell on a Sabbath day. Well, I'm doing good on a Sabbath day. I'm buying this because I want my friend to hear the message. Well, put them on live stream. This stuff be recorded and it's put on YouTube. Tell them to watch the video when it come out. Or you screen record the video on your phone. Don't give me what if somebody hungry on the Sabbath day? The Bible say do good on the Sabbath. Or somebody hungry on the Sabbath, why you gotta buy them some food? Why don't you bring them to your house and get some food from your house? Give them some bread. Like, niggas ain't gotta have no 5-course meal. If you hungry, here goes some bread. There were 3 loaves of bread. Eat that. And then come back tonight, and tonight I can cook you something. Or tonight I can give you some money to buy you something. But I'm not about to give you the money so you will buy on a Sabbath day. People be making up all kind of excuses on why you're supposed to do stuff on a Sabbath day. What if I'm a doctor or I'm a nurse? Supposed to do good on Sabbath day? People need healing on Sabbath day. I don't work on a Sabbath day. If you need healing, Christ healed on the Sabbath day. Remember, he was healing people on the Sabbath day. But that was by the power of God. You know, the Pharisees like, hey, you healing people on a Sabbath. If they want to be healed, let them be healed on another day. You ain't supposed to be healed on a Sabbath. And they said, look, God always works. God rests on the Sabbath day. Why not this person be rest? Why don't they have rest for this pain that they're going through? That's the power of God healing them. Christ wasn't going around with an operating table on with the IV telling them to hook him up and doing service. He wasn't doing all that. He just was touching people. You're healed. You know, made some clay. Put this on your eyes and go wash them, and now you can see and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know the Pharisees, they're trying to find everything wrong with being healed on a Sabbath day. Yeah, being healed. Guess what? Yahshua wasn't getting paid to do that either. See, you going to work. You are getting paid. You are working and getting paid to do these jobs. Yahshua wasn't working. He wasn't getting paid for doing these things. The only payment he was getting was blessings from God. He wasn't on the clock getting paid 20 or 30 or 16 or whatever, how many ever hours you get paid an hour to work. He wasn't getting paid. So he wasn't at work working. He was doing healings for free. When you talk about, well, I'm at the hospital, I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm doing God's work, I'm healing people. Nigga, you ain't doing it for free. You work on the Sabbath for free. You doing that for free? No, you're not. So cut the beep. Get out of here with that. You know, people be coming up with all kinds of excuses on why they work on a Sabbath day, or giving scenarios about what if somebody hungry on a Sabbath day. If they're hungry, get them some food. You don't have to pay for the food. Drive them to your house. Well, first of all, where you at where you meet these hungry people? What you doing at the store on the Sabbath day? You supposed to be at your house resting, or at the church getting the word. On the way to church, if somebody was hungry, and you decided that you was going to give them some money so they going to buy something to eat on the Sabbath day and break the Sabbath day on your dime. You went to the gas station. You buying on the Sabbath day because you needed gas. But you didn't, because you didn't do that before the Sabbath came. You want to do it on the Sabbath. So you didn't use that preparation day, which is the day before the Sabbath, to do it. You did it on the Sabbath. Because I had to work on preparation day and I didn't get off in time. Well, why you didn't do it before the preparation day? You know what preparation day is. If you can't do stuff on preparation day, do it before preparation day. Well, that's true, but I get paid on Fridays. And because I worked late, I wasn't able to get... Oh, so you couldn't get nobody to loan you the money until you got paid? And then pay them back through Cash App or something like that, or through PayPal? You couldn't get a loan from somebody? Well... I didn't know I was going to have to work late. It was all unexpected. And I worked late. It was so you didn't know. It was unexpected. So you did the unexpected. Something that was unexpected of you to do on the preparation day when you had it planned to do these things before the Sabbath started, but because you decided to do the unexpected, you worked over that time, you wasn't able to get the gas, so now you got to get the gas on the Sabbath. Because you did the unexpected. Instead of saying, hey, it's the Sabbath, I don't do no unexpected. I don't work overtime on Sabbath day. I told y'all people, on every other day of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I can work a double. I can stay after the time I'm supposed to stay. But on a Friday, I don't play those games. When I get off at 4 o'clock, I'm out here. When I get off at 5 o'clock, I'm out here. If I have to stay a little bit over, I can only stay over 30 minutes, and then I gotta get out here because it's preparation. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe the check didn't hit today. Check is late. Well, guess what, baby? The check is late. You ain't got to go to church on the Sabbath day. Stay around home and watch the sermon on the internet. You ain't got to go spend no money buying nothing on the Sabbath day. Oh, I ain't getting no food. My children are home. Baby, the Sabbath day is only 24 hours. I'm pretty sure that everybody can go without food for one day. I'm pretty sure you got something to eat until the Sabbath. I mean, the Sabbath is only from sundown to sundown. It's only from sundown to sundown. Nigga ain't about to die. Nigga ain't about to die. You can't cook no, you can't burn no rice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's something you can eat. Peanut butter, with some peanut butter. Like, damn, I mean, it's just 24 hours. Y'all be acting like the Sabbath day is so long that you can't do nothing. Oh my God. It's just from sundown to sundown. It's just 24 hours. I know after the Sabbath is over at sundown, I can go to the movies. I can go to work. I can do this. I can do that. I can do all this stuff after the Sabbath is over. I just can't do certain things during the Sabbath. It ain't that big of a deal. Dang. Now let's go ahead and get some more of this. I'm 34 minutes in this thing. 34 minutes in. I ain't wanted to be this long, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because we only got a few more scriptures to go through. And this portion of the Bible study is called Corporal Punishing Your Children. So let's go to those verses that talk about whooping your kids. I already got a Bible study called Disciplining Your Children. So we're going to just run through these and we're going to end this Bible study. Let's go ahead and get it. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. And it reads, it says, he who spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him properly. Next, Proverbs chapter 19, verse 18. Chasing your son while he has... yeah, I'm coming up. This word, I'm not familiar with using this word that much. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 18. Chasing your son while there is hope, and do not set your heart on his destruction. Chastise Chasing your son while there is hope, and do not set your heart on his destruction. Meaning, listen, your son is supposed to be chastised. He's supposed to be disciplined, but there's a certain way your child is supposed to be disciplined. Yes, you can whoop your child, but let your child know that he's going to catch a whooping if he does it, whoop him. Take his computer, take his fun. Let him understand that this is wrong. We're not supposed to do this, and let there be more consequences for him doing something over the girl. You know, a girl, you can threaten to whoop her and she'll stop, or you can hit her maybe 2-3 times and she done. But the boy, you may have to whoop him more than that because he a boy, he tough. And with boys, you have to let them understand. They have to understand it, and it has to make sense to a boy on why he can't do something. You know what I'm saying? And he has to believe in you. He has to respect you in order to take that discipline. A lot of times, y'all been telling y'all child not to do stuff and y'all do it. You tell your child not to say something and he hear you say it. You got to lead by example. Your child has to respect you. If your child keeps doing something over and over again after you done told them not to do it, it's because they don't respect you. Why don't your child respect you? What are you doing that made your child not respect you? You're doing something. You're doing something that they can see that makes them lose respect for you. You're doing something that makes them lose respect for you. You did something. Just because you're their parent don't mean they have to respect you. You doing something to that child that child sees that makes them not respect you. Maybe your favoritism. Maybe you favor the daughters over him. Maybe he see that you have a child with multiple fathers and his father's not around, but their father is around, and you allow their father to come and do stuff with them while he's set off to the side, and you don't make him feel equally loved, and you don't take up that slack that he's not getting from seeing their father around, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I'm just saying there's issues going on there while he's acting out. And you just beating him to get him in line. That's not the issue. The issue is deeper than that. It's a mental issue. Your child is seeing something that they're not liking and they're acting out. That's for somebody needs to hear that. Next, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 15. It says, foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far from him. You know, foolishness is in the heart of a child. Children go do stupid stuff. Children go do foolish things because they are children. We are teaching them. We are training them. We are educating them about the world, about life, about what to do and what not to do. You have to teach them things on what to do and what not to do. And if they do the opposite of what you teach them, you have to discipline them. And it's better to also let them know that they're going to be disciplined and what the discipline is. So when they actually commit the act, you give them the discipline according to what you promised. Because if you tell somebody you're doing something to them and you don't do it, they lose respect for you. If you tell a child, if you do it again, I'm going to whoop you, and then they do it again and you don't whoop them, you a liar. They don't respect you no more because you're not a man or a woman of your word. When I used to tell my niece and nephew, I'm going to whoop you if you do this, and they did it, I'm like, I got to whoop you. No, please don't. Listen. I told you I was going to whoop you with me. Nigga, I ain't no liar. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Or I can tell them I'm going to whoop them, and then I forget, or I just don't do it right then and there because I'm busy, I'm doing something tired. I don't feel like hearing that noise right now. But then when I'm ready to hear that noise and I'm ready to whoop them, like, hey, remember I told you I was going to whoop you for doing this? Get over here! Get over here! You know, gotta keep my word. Next we're going to Proverbs chapter 23, verses 13 through 14, and it reads, do not withhold correction from a child, for if you beat him with a rod, he will not die. You shall beat him with a rod and deliver his soul from hell. You beat him, he ain't gonna die. I mean, there's some people who beat him. His feelings gonna be so hurt. His soul gonna be crushed. No, he's not gonna die. Beat him and deliver his soul from hell. You heard about his feelings. He's gonna be heartbroken. Shut up. Him learning discipline is important. It's gonna deliver his soul from hell. Because he's disciplined. He needs that. She needs that. You know, some of these women got to throw women under the bus. They'll be worried about feelings. Feelings. You know, you can yell at the child. Don't yell. You know how you're making him feel. The feelings. Which one was that? Was that Proverbs 23, verse 13, 14? Do not withhold correction from a child. For if you beat him with a rod, he will not die. Verse 14. You shall beat him with a rod and deliver his soul from hell. No, don't beat him with the belt. Just come here, let me hit him. Put your hand up. No, he crying. Look, he crying. You crying, huh? Yeah, I'm crying. No. Belt. Now, here. The reason they used the rod and not their hand, because they didn't want to associate discipline with actual violence. They didn't want to use their own hand to hit you, because it's the fact that you can use your own hand, your own force from your own body to hit the person that makes the person feel by the pressure, by the impact that you don't love them, that you don't care about them. That's why when we discipline the children, we use like the stick or the rod. Like I had a stick. It was like one of the back scratches that church back with. I called it the discipline stick. And on the part I whooped it with, I drew a smiley face. And I was like, go get the discipline stick. And I'm like, look, he might get above it. And he got the little smiley face, and then I whoop him with the stick, and the stick stung bad. They really didn't like getting hit with that stick, because that stick wasn't no game. But I didn't hit him with my hand, because it's a psychological thing when you can take your hand and hit the person. It's different when you can use like a stick or, like a belt. I'm using this to whoop you with. This is what whips you. This is your punishment, this thing. And instead of this thing is this thing I'm holding. This thing is only used for this. And I only use this to whoop. You know what I'm saying? It's a psychological thing. Like even when I'm in an altercation with somebody and we fighting, and I could tell by the throw of the blow, and when I blocked the blow, how hard they was trying to hit me. And by how hard you was trying to hit me, I know how serious you was of trying to hurt me. Even if like this, me and the girl we playing or whatever, or I make her mad or something, and she hit me real hard. I'm like, whoa, beep, you tried to hurt me for real. Like, why you put your hands on me? Bam, you don't hit me. It's certain things you don't do. Now, if she pick up a water bottle and throw it at me, that was a lot. Or she hit me with I'm not playing with you. The girl is, we're not trying to really hurt each other. We just throwing stuff at each other that's not going to really do significant damage. But when you're using your hand and you're trying to hurt me, that means you really don't care about me, because you're using your own power to try to do something to me. You know what I'm saying? It's psychological. Next we're going to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 15. And it reads, it says, the rod and rebuke give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. Excuse me for that. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 15, it says, the rod and rebuke give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. Or to her mother. It's saying like, a child left to themselves, they ain't got no rebuke. They ain't got no whipping, no whip to whip them, to teach them about the ways of life. And, we're supposed to raise our children, teach them about life. We're supposed to be educating our children at all times. We are supposed to be our children's educators. We're supposed to teach them about the rights and the wrongs, about this, about that. We're supposed to do that. We're not supposed to let a child learn that stuff on their own. We're supposed to teach them, and we're supposed to teach them with discipline. Show them the consequences of things. Like you don't have to be the one that's doing it. You can take them to a police station, or you can show them police records of why people in juvenile detention centers and where this child ended up for not listening to their parents, or what happens to children that don't listen, or what happens to people who break the law and break the rules, and show them videos of children in these camps where they got these orange jumpsuits on and can only eat when somebody telling me gotta share one with strangers that they don't know, how people steal their stuff when you in jail or when you in these incarcerated areas, and how you always gotta fight, and how you get molested and raped by the guards and by other inmates, and how hard and terrible that life is, to let them know you don't want that life. You want the life I'm trying to provide for you. You want a better life for yourself. You're supposed to be trying to raise your children to be these adults that you want to be in proximity with. We with these ratchet people that we can't stand, and it's because of how they were raised. They were not disciplined. You see what I'm saying? They were not raised right. You gotta think about that. These out of control adults that act retarded, that don't have common sense, that are evil, that are whoremongers and whores and liars and non-committed, and they were people. This is how they were raised. They were raised like that. You gotta remember, that person had a parent, and that parent wasn't doing their job, and that's why they turned out the way they turned out. I don't give a damn how good and nice you think your life is. The person on the outside looking in, we see you not right. You can act as good and as right and as holy and as righteous as you want to, but we see the mistakes in life that you made. And why did you make those mistakes? Because you probably wasn't raised right. And you can be like, well, my parents did tell me this and that, and I did what I want to do. Well, why is that? Because they didn't beat you enough. They didn't whoop you enough. They didn't discipline you right. You know where they went wrong. And if you was just disobedient, then you know that you wrong. And you can't give the blame to them. You're going to take the blame for everything that happened to you on yourself because you made decisions too. Just like me. When my parents told me I had to do something, I didn't do it because I knew the consequence. I was taught to learn and to obey. I was whipped. My sister wasn't whipped, but I was whipped. You see what I'm saying? So I knew to obey. I went to church when I was little. Like all the discipline I got it when I was little. Between when I was from a toddler, when I can remember getting whooping, till when it stopped. And when it stopped was when my grandmother died. I didn't get no whooping from her, but my aunties, they're still with me for doing stuff I wasn't supposed to do. So I was disciplined. I knew better. Other children wasn't disciplined like me. But that's why I'm respectful. That's why when I see adults, I speak. How you doing? That's why I know to whip. And I know how to whip. But I know how to whip based on how I seen discipline should have been done. Because I knew how when I wasn't disciplined right, I see how other children wasn't disciplined right. And because I know the word of God, I know how discipline is supposed to be handed down. So, I have that knowledge from learning and reading and studying the scriptures. So I know I can bring it to you on how it's supposed to be done versus how I've seen it done, which was, I seen children getting beat with cords and crying and wilding and then could come outside later on. Like, there was no follow-up consequence for it. But the children, I knew children who was beat for something and they couldn't come outside the whole week. They were stuck inside. You wouldn't hear from them or nothing. You would see them at school and you'd be like, hey man, why I try to call you? Oh, no, I can't talk on the phone. I can't go in the move. I can't go on the future because of this. I'm like, damn, that parent was strict. You was mad at the parent for punishing the child like that. But you knew that child had a parent that cared about them and that did not play. And sometimes you'd be envious and like, damn. And then that child ended up being a lawyer and a doctor or, a truck driver, someone who's disciplined and went to the army, someone who's got a disciplined job that's got them very financially straight right now, while I'm struggling because I wasn't disciplined like that. You know what I'm saying? People that can't keep a job, you can't keep a job, you keep bouncing from job to job, you just bounce from relationship because you can't be stable because there was no stability in your life as a child. Your parent wasn't stable. And your parent didn't show you a stable lifestyle, so that's why your lifestyle not stable. That's why you're not stable because of your parent. Your parent wasn't stable. You saw your parent in multiple relationships. You saw your parent having to bounce from job to job. You saw your parent having to bounce from house to house. You saw your parent having to borrow from this person, that person. You saw the inconsistency in your parents' life, and that's why you have inconsistencies in your life because you wasn't brought up and raised around stupidity. And we're about to end this Bible study with this verse right here. We're in Sirach chapter 30, verse 1. Sirach is also known as Ecclesiasticus. In the Apocrypha, we're in the Apocrypha books, the books that are hidden, the books that were taken out of my big Bibles. But you can find it if you want it. Sirach chapter 30, verse 1. And it reads, it says, a father who loves his son will whoop him often so that he can be proud of him later. Sons need discipline. Sons need their father. to discipline them. Or a father figure that don't just whoop them because they bad, whoop them because they love them. When I whoop you, I want to whoop you and tell you why you getting whipped, why I needed to whip you. I even read the Bible verse to you. The Bible told me to do it. It's in the Bible. And the air just cut on, that means it's getting hot. The door closed when the air came on, boom. That meant closed out the sermon. That's the end of the sermon. That's the end of the lesson. So I'm going to end the lesson here. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for making it to the end. If you made it to the end and you like this Bible study, share it with friends and with family members that need it. Take the Bible notes. I have the Bible scriptures in the description box, so you can go in the description and follow along. Take the notes. Share this Bible study with other people. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, share my content. Subscribe to my channel. Give the video a like. Comment if you like to. I don't know how many more of these I'm going to do because I don't plan on living here that long. I don't plan on being alive that long. I don't like living here. I hate living here. This world is disgusting. It's terrible. This stuff is going on. I don't want to be around here anymore. Hope my Bible studies reach people and deliver their souls and help redeem their life. Until it's time, everyone, peace and shalom.